Hey there. So for my field trip, I decided to do a virtual field trip to the Sweetwater wetlands. And I actually live really close by to it, and I've never been, so I'm gonna go there one day. But for now, I did the virtual field trip. This is a screenshot that I got from the wetlands Facebook page that kind of shows a good view of what it looks like. So the Sweetwater wetland is basically, it's a constructed wetland as opposed to being something that's like naturally occurring. Um, it's made by people basically, and they use it as a water treatment facility and like a animal wildlife habitat. So obviously there's a lot of standing water. There's a manufactured stream that's kind of made to flow, and the water kind of filters through. The water in the wetlands is treated wastewater that gets even more filtered by being at the wetlands. And then there's basins on the property, kind of behind the wetlands, where the water is recharged. And then after that, it gets sent to all different kinds of areas like parks or golf courses or schools to be used in other places like that. I think one of the coolest things that I learned while going through the field trip is that in order to kind of maintain the ecosystem for all the plants and animals that is, so precariously like manufactured, they have to do this like annual burn. And I think if you are from Tucson, if you live in Tucson, you kind of are familiar with that maybe. 'Cause I definitely seen it growing up my whole life, and I never knew that that was the reason. It's just to keep everything kind of controlled, and I think that's really cool. Something that I think I'd like to learn more about from this location is how the facility that treats the wastewater, kind of like more specifics into how that happens essentially, because when you hear wastewater, you're kind of like, I don't know, that sounds kind of gross, or maybe that's your first reaction. So I'm interested to see or to know more about how exactly that happens, and kind of the process that goes into that, because clearly it works. There's all these animals and plants and things that thrive and live in the wetlands, so I'm just curious to know more about that.